What's up, everybody? It's Jaryn from Berkshire Bike and Board, and this is everything you need to know about the 2023 Tour de France. It was a good one. So, a little bit of a recap. Here's what we did. 21 stages of bike racing over 23 days with 2 rest days. We had 176 riders start, a lot less than 176 riders finish. 3,405 kilometers race with 175,000 feet of elevation climb over the course of those 3 weeks. It was an absolutely unbelievable tour, and I want to go through a list of a few things that jumped out to me as I went back and looked over this amazing version of the Tour de France. Remember when the Yates brothers, Simon and Adam, 2 different teams, one on UAE, one on Israel Premier Tech, I believe, doesn't matter, went off the front in the massively hilly stage 1 of the tour, the last climb of the day. They worked together, and somehow Adam outsprints his brother to go across the finish line and went into yellow. Amazing day to be a part of the Yates family. Victor Lafay, stage 2, random guy on Cofidis, young kid. Cofidis hasn't won a stage in forever, yet they've been a sponsor for 20 years. He wins the cat and mouse, goes to the sprint, wins the stage. Unreal, fun to watch. Okay, Jasper Philipsen. So this was interesting. Netflix portrayed him as Jasper the Disaster last season. He's known to crash or celebrate at the line when he doesn't actually win. This year he dominated. 4 stage wins across the span of the tour. I started to not like him as much at the end because he started taunting guys that were going in the breakaway, and that's a little bit taboo if you ask me, but when you win 4 stages, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the peloton. So, chapeau to you, Mr. Philipsen. Okay, random sidebar, but a tractor hoisted a cyclist over 5 massive hay bales this year. Pretty cool. Fans came out in droves. It's always fun to see what the French people do in the countryside during the tour. Okay, next, one of what I thought was going to be the most exciting stages of the tour. It was like stage 5 or something. They finished on a racetrack. It was kind of like a little bit of a mini crit. I almost think I wish they did a couple more laps on the racetrack just because crit racing is cool and huge here in America and fun to watch. Yeah, what happened? Fuglsang goes down. There's a couple of really bad crashes, and then who the hell won that day? Jasper Philipsen. Boom, to the win. So yeah, crit racing, I don't know, fun to watch. Bike racing is cool. So the first week of the mountains, this is important to talk about, I think. The first thing that happened, if you think back a long time ago, 3 weeks ago basically, is Jonas, out of the GC guys, Jonas versus Tadej. Jonas was the first one to attack, and he cracked Tadej in his first try. Got close to a minute on him, I think. Tadej blew up, and we all thought the tour was over. But wait, the next day, and then every day after that, until the end of the tour, pretty much except for 2 fateful days, Tadej would attack and Jonas couldn't follow. So it was like Jonas went on stage 5 or stage 6 and got a minute, and then every day after that, Tadej would get like 10 seconds back. And it kept it so exciting to watch the bike race for 3 weeks. In the middle there, what didn't happen? Cav didn't win a stage. What did happen is he missed a super important shift in a sprint that I thought he was going to win on, and then the next day he cracked his collarbone. He's out. He hasn't made an announcement of what he's going to do next year, but my guess, I don't want to put the pressure on him, but I think he's going to come back to try it again. Okay, Matteo Jorgensen. This is fun to talk about. Americano V2, because Nielsen Paulus is Americano V1. He's kind of an afterthought at this point, but I love you, Nielsen Paulus. Anyways, Matteo Jorgensen goes on a flyer up the Puy Dome. He's in the breakaway. He breaks away from the breakaway. It looked like he was going to win, and Michael Woods, the Canadian, brings him back for the stage win. There was a stage where they were coming over the mountain, and Tadej had been gaining the momentum at this point, and then all of a sudden, Jonas attacks going over the top of a massive climb. What does he do? He looks over his shoulder. He doesn't get it. He sits back down, and then Tadej, boom, attacks him on the downhill, right in the beginning of the downhill. He can't get Jonas to pull with him. So then all of a sudden, out of the nowhere, Carlos Rodriguez comes from Ineos. He attacks on the downhill. He goes away with the breakaway. He wins the stage. Something a little bit exciting or interesting news about him is he's got a signed pre-contract with Movistar going into next year, except for now Ineos is trying to buy his contract back. He's a Spanish guy. I feel like it's a natural fit for him to be on Movistar, but I think it'll be better for his career if he goes with Ineos. We shall see. Okay, the TT. So this is the most decisive stage of the tour, I would say, arguably. And what happened is, while everyone was basically busy deciding if they were going to switch from a TT bike to a road bike on the climb, Jonas just said it basically and went uphill 20 miles an hour on his TT bike, blew everybody's doors off, and used the TT bike to his advantage on the climb. No more bike swaps, please. Then we have the Queen stage. Tadej absolutely blew himself to smithereens on this stage. Random hero, Felix Gall, young kid, took the day, and the post-race interview, they're interviewing Tadej, and all he can say, laughing, is, "I'm dead." And this is what I love so much about Tadej, is like, he's so fun to watch, he's so exciting. The highs are high, the lows are low. He's a true competitor, and then at the end of the day, he shakes hands with all of his competition, smiles, and tries to get him the next day. It's so fun to watch. And then Casper won the sprint in a breakaway, Casper Askren. Basically, the breakaway goes, and the breakaway never stays away. There's a lot of reasons for that. Basically, the big teams generally have a sprinter that they want to win the stage, and so they have domestiques, essentially, that can pull the peloton back to the breakaway. Always like just in the nick of time. That is planned. There's a person doing math in the background telling him how fast to go. But it doesn't always work out in this stage 18. Casper Askren stayed away with a group of 2 other guys. I can't remember the details. Goes for the sprint, wins the sprint. The next day, he's in the breakaway again, and he almost wins. Mohoric wins, and then he has the best interview. Lantern Rus has the best interview of all time at the finish line, where he thanks the soigneurs and the bus drivers and the tour directors, and yeah, it was an amazing emotional victory for him, which is pretty cool. Okay, so then the day after that, basically Sepp Kuss goes down. Well, Carlos Rodriguez goes down, and his front tire slides out. Sepp Kuss plows into the back of him, up and over the handlebars, crashes really, really hard in the descent. We all thought he was done. He was there for the Champs-Élysées, which is pretty cool. And Tadej wins. Tadej wins. Yes, he goes over the top. Hands up for victory. He gets his legs back again. He said he could have raced for another week at that point. Something happened to Tadej for 2 days there where he completely blew apart. I don't think Jonas is doping, but I think that black juice that he's drinking at the end of every stage is doing him a lot of good. I don't know what it is, but it's working. Tadej should get some of that black juice. But yeah, Tadej came back, won that stage, which was awesome. I think it chats Jonas' a little bit that Tadej wins these little individual stages and makes such a big deal out of it. So I think Tadej should keep doing it. And then we go to the Champs-Élysées where Tadej goes on a flyer by himself, tries to run a breakaway with like 30K to go. And then he does it again and again and again. It was just like, oh, Tadej, I love you. You're so fun to watch race bicycles. And then some random guy from Bora won. And basically the big deal is that Jonas won the tour. I think Tadej got Young People's Award. Ciccone wins the KOM jersey. Jasper Philipsen wins the green jersey. I should thank some people. Thank everybody for watching this. We had such a blast making it. Thanks to Jason Root for basically living at the bike shop for 3 weeks and making notes and editing video. Thank you to the bike shop for letting us do this. All the people that watched. Thank you to all the bike riders who gave Netflix a ton of great footage to make a documentary out of next season. Thank you to the ASO who puts on the greatest race that there ever was that needs more improvements than any race that's ever still was. I don't know. What else do I have for shout outs? And here's what's coming up next. Tour de France Femme is on right now. It's awesome. The action is pretty amazing. We're not gonna make recaps of it because I think we're all really, really tired. Maybe next year. World Championships are the first week of August. And the big news is that Jonas just announced a bid to go to the Volta to try and win the Volta with Primoz. Tadej will probably decide next week that he wants to go too because that's Tadej at the end of the day. Hit the subscribe button, press the thumbs up, run up for distance, run up for time. Thanks for watching.